Hey, what's up guys? Darron Brown here, and in this video we're going to cover ES2020 has been finalized. And here's what I'm excited about. So basically ES2020 has come out and has come out with a lot more features that are basically going to help building JavaScript applications a lot easier. One of the things just off the top of my head that sticks out to me, I don't know if you're familiar with iOS development, but in iOS there's something called optionals. And optionals have been around, I believe, in other languages as well, but where I've used it at was in iOS development. Well, anyways, they're bringing that same thing to JavaScript, and it's going to make our code a lot cleaner and a lot less robust. So anyways, let's get into this article.
All right, so check this out. Right now, you're looking at a list of our developers. Now, because this is just an example, I didn't go ahead and just create a list of different developers. I actually just created an array with an object, and basically it has all my personal information. I want to show you guys how we can use optional chaining and also nullish coalescing. If that's, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but whatever. So right now, I'm going to go into my app.js file. As you can see, I created a component, our developer component. Our developer component is expecting to get back the first name along with the address, number, street, city, and zip. We have our app component. In our app component, we are using our flat list. Our flat list is getting our developer's data. And as you can see, it's rendering our developer component. So based off of what we see in our simulator, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 different developers. Well, 6 of the same developer. And I'm going to show you guys how to use optional chaining to basically do the same thing. So let's go ahead and just remove our flat list. First, we're going to map through our developers array. So developer.map. We're going to reference our developer, our index. We're going to render that. So if our developer is true and our developer.city is true and our developer.address is true and developer.address.city is true, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our developer component. We're going to return our item, which is our developer. And also let's make sure we add our key, put our index in there. So now if all these conditions are met, we're going to return our developer. We should see everyone in our simulator. So that's cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove, let's say, the city from this one. And I'm going to update the name to Mike Tyson. All right. So we shouldn't actually see this because we just removed our city. As you can see, we're not getting Mike Tyson back, and we're only seeing 5 of our developers. So I'm going to go ahead and just add that city back. And I forgot where Tyson is from. I think Tyson is from Brownsville. So I'm going to go ahead and say Brownsville. As you can see, we're getting Tyson back. Now, there's actually a faster way to do that, and that's what I love about optional chaining. It's just going to make coding a lot faster. So we can just say if developers is true, or if address is true, just by adding that question mark and reference our city, and that does exactly the same thing. You can see everything's coming through. So that's how you use optional chaining in your React Native applications. Now let's cover nullish coalescing. Now I'm going to give you guys an idea what that looks like. Let's go back. I'm looking at the article, and I'll leave a link to the article in the description. So nullish coalescing. So basically, this is supposed to take into account values that are not true or false. Now the reason this is helpful, I promise you, when you're working with an API, especially when you get hired and you're working for a company, there will be data that will come back to you that will be null, definitely, and maybe undefined. Now you may want to control what you do with the null values or undefined values. Now I'm not going to go over the old way of doing it. I'm just going to cover, I'm not going to go over the old way of doing it. I'm just going to cover the new way using coalescing. All right. So let's go to our data. Well, I'm going to go to my data.js file. Where say we're going to have a newsletter for our business, right? So we're going to say if newsletter, this person has chosen to subscribe to our newsletter. So we're going to say it's true. And next we're going to say if this person has not subscribed to our newsletter, we're going to say false. And if for whatever reason, that person can also say that newsletter is null, or if that newsletter is undefined. All right. And I'm going to remove our last two developers. All right, so I'm going to save that. Close this out. Well, actually, I'm going to pause this video real fast so I can just get my charger and make sure I can finish the rest of this tutorial. All right, so now that my laptop is charging, let's go to our app.js file. I'm going to create a new variable, and I'm going to title this new background color. I'm going to set this equal to if our item dot, what was that again? Newsletter. If this is true or false, and if it's not neither true or false, we're going to set its value equal to true. All right. So now we're going to say background color. Now, if it's true, the background color is going to be pink. And if it's false, the background color is going to be yellow. All right, so make sure that this is clear. Now, remember on the data, we have true, false, null, and undefined. So we're saying if our developer is true, we're going to change the background color to pink. Now remember, if it's not true or false, we're going to make our newsletter true. And so its background color for the last two developers should be pink as well. Now, if it's false, the background color should be yellow. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, apply an array to our style, and I'm going to reference new background color. All right, save that. And now when I take a look at the simulator, as you can see, our first developer, the background color is pink. For our second developer, the background color is yellow. And for the next two developers, the background color is pink as well. So this is going to be very helpful when you're working with the database. I promise you guys that you're going to work with a database and there's going to be no values coming through. And you may want to create some kind of like condition to handle null or undefined value cases on the front end. So I can't think of an example of that right now, but I've definitely have had to deal with that on the front end and when working on APIs. Now, I'm not going to cover everything that's new to ES2020. As I said earlier, I'm just going to provide a link to this article in the description. And you guys can go through this and see which things you think will be helpful. As a professional React Native developer, I know that when you guys actually have your coding challenges for your interviews, it's always impressive if you're using the most up-to-date coding practices. So at least they know that you're a student of software development, and they'll trust you more to learn different tech stacks and tools along the way. But anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.